I think that is Noah there. Must be Noah. Hi Noah, how are you doing? Must be Noah. Hi Noah, how are you doing? I want to hear. Please make sure that you like, you subscribe, you share the live. Please make sure that you share the live, and so that we can actually have a lot of people and we can start very fast. Please make sure that you like. Please, first thing, make sure that you like, and if you've not subscribed yet, please make sure that you subscribe as well. So today, as you've seen, the subject is there. Yeah, why Donald Trump listen to this bishop lecturing him? So that's what the subject is actually. So we're going to talk about that. Why did Donald Trump listen to this, woman preacher was actually lecturing him? The thing about America is that there is a lot of volatility in politics nowadays. It was not like that before, but nowadays really there is a lot of volatility that is happening, and it's really not good for the economy. It's not good for the country either, the stability as well. So those kind of things happening, they shake a lot of things. As you know, America is a superpower, and it being a superpower, which means that a lot of people are looking toward for it. They are looking at America. A lot of people are looking at America for everything. For the economy, they're looking at America for well-being. People are leaving continents. People are leaving China to go and live in America because it's a well-promising country. Not only that, they are leaving Africa, they're leaving Europe, they're going there. I remember in the 1970s, a lot of Norwegians left actually Norway to go and to live in the United States. And in the 16th century, you had a lot of Americans actually, a lot of English people leaving the United Kingdom and going to what was then America. So, it's really a promising country in itself with a lot of, America has a lot of things that it can offer. It really offers a lot. It offers, it has a lot of minerals, first of all. It has a great population, which actually, that great population is actually its power. And the power of that country is actually its people, and so so that's what's happening actually with America. It's a very big country. It's a big superpower. Its people, it's actually its pride. And it's the people that actually make the technology. It's the people that makes up the economy that it is. It's the people that brings, all the infrastructure up. America is one of the greatest nations in the world. But recently, it's really been on a decline. On a decline in its leadership, in its role, the role that it plays in the world. You heard just recently when Donald Trump entered into power, he assigned actually to go out of World Health Organization. It's true that America is providing a lot of help to these other countries. Yes, but that's what it takes actually to be big. That's what it takes to be powerful. If you are not if you're not able to actually help or provide for these little countries, then you lose that kind of superiority. And sometimes it's the money that you give that people value. It's the help that they get that they value. They do not value you just seeing you on top, but they also value maybe the help that you give them. But the thing is also, when those countries come to the same level as America, like Europe has, they kind of miss that respect a little bit, and saying that we also are just like you, which I understand in some sense. But the thing is, as a great economy America is, you just have to actually work with other countries and provide the best solutions. Because if you're going to kind of try to look for solutions on your own, it will be very difficult as a nation to prosper. You have to make sure that other countries comes in and try to help you in terms of bringing up solutions to this world, to this planet, solutions that actually can include everybody. I don't agree that every nation should actually, we should have a multipolar world, because that will bring conflict anyway. You have small kings everywhere, and then they want to decide everything where they are, which will actually bring a lot of conflict, which will bring a lot of troubles. So what you have to do is actually, America has to be there where things are happening, and when things are happening, to actually bring out suggestions and solutions. Without bringing those solutions, then you have no leadership in the world. You have a vacuum in the world, and it's being a vacuum. You are just bringing disorder everywhere in the world. And that's why people don't realize, we have to have a country which actually is more powerful than the others, of course, but also it does not rule actually the countries by its own determination, or its own means, or its own ways of saying things, but rather collaborating with these countries in bringing solutions in the area that the people live. So that's how I think great leadership is. Leadership is about collaborating with the weak and trying to bring solutions that can help them actually in the long run, and see what is the best actually solution. How can you actually move? Please make sure that you subscribe and you like. How can you move forward to actually provide the best solution for the people who are actually living on this earth? And America has been playing that role for a while. America has been on the front run for a while on these issues. America has been giving its best actually for a while. We have had a lot of years with peace with America. America has given a lot of countries prosperity. We have seen it with Canada. We have seen it with Europe. We've seen it with South America in its own time. We've seen it with Asia. If you have China, think about China. Hey, Jack Mackey, please make sure that you like and you subscribe. Thank you for joining us. So, if you look, for example, China has prospered a lot because of America. China has really industrialized itself because of America. America invested a lot in China. There was this World Trade Organization, which actually opened up China and opened up America to China. So there was a lot of investment which were going the other way to China. And now you have China, which is really one of the most leading countries across the world. It is the most leading country across the world, and the most developed country on earth. That is the Chinese. They're the most developed nation on earth. And they are ruling everywhere. They make rules in Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, Middle East. You go there, they're the one actually dominating in infrastructure, culture. Well, cultural wise a bit, but you have infrastructure, you have technology. The Chinese have the best technology. They have the phones, they have the apps, the best apps that you need. They have the best cars. Now they're providing the best cars. You have not only that, but you have even planes. They're now into planes. So it remains to see how it's going on, because this is a competition, and it's a fierce one, because America is not giving up easily and China is not giving up easily. And now there is this, these two blocks are trying to collide each other, to fight with each other, to measure power with each other. Now you have to know this. Once China and America goes against one another, it's just a total distraction. And when we have a distraction, the entire world suffers. The entire world is going to collapse. We have a collapse of the world civilization when you have these powers coming against one another. And that really makes the economy, just collapse. The economy collapse. The economy of the world collapse. And you have back again Somalization of the entire world. You have Somalia again, which is actually a disorder across the world. And that what we will have, people just doing whatever they want, living however they want, doing whatever they want. And, you have just misleading of nations. What I think is that everybody has the right to live how they want, but also in the respect of each and everyone's culture. So I want to talk about that subject, of this woman who was a priest. This was a priest who was going to preach, who was preaching when Donald Trump was there. So this is actually a traditional issue that is done in America. This is something which is traditional that American president do. Yeah. So and Donald Trump went into this church, and as it is tradition, so Donald Trump went into this church as is tradition, and he was lectured. He was lectured about what he should do with the people that actually fear him. I don't know if you heard his her message. I'll try to play it here and see if we can get something.
In our country, we're scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families. Some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meatpacking plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation. But the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples.
Andrea, not many people met the President of the United States.
We have heard actually that was it was actually the bishop leading the inaugural prayer service on Tuesday, who urged President Donald Trump to have mercy on his constituents. He urged President Donald Trump to have mercy on gays and the people that were afraid. This bishop is known as Boods, but this bishop has really been recognized as one of the bishops who have been really very harsh against Trump. She's been very rash against Trump. And now, on the inauguration day, she's coming with this actually a sermon. So her name is Reverend Marion Edgar Brood. So this woman came with this news. She started attacking Donald Trump. This was not a sermon. This was a political statement. We should make really a difference between a political statement and a sermon. And in this case, this woman was holding a political statement. Not only to say that, but we know I'm a believer myself. I'm a Bible believer. And we know according to the Bible, women should not preach. That is the first thing. And I'm not going to enter into that. But anyway, she's preaching. That is her stand on this issue. And this Reverend Marian Edgar Brood, let's just look at the form first. She was bringing these words or trying to preach. These words are not actually a sermon, because in a sermon you have scriptures. There was no scripture at all, nothing said about the scripture, nothing which actually was any biblical. So that's in itself, just in the form of it, we just take that away, because that is not a sermon, that is not a preaching, it has no scripture at all. Now, looking what was actually inside, let us look in the details of what she was saying. First of all, this was actually not a preaching, it was a political statement. Why am I saying it was a political statement? She was defending gays, she was defending immigrants, she was defending people she thinks that are weak. And anyway, no problem with that. But the stand of the president, of the current president, who's actually Donald Trump. You know his stand, but you are still coming and lecturing him or talking about these kind of things that he has actually judged to be things that he don't want actually to be standing in this country. You know how America has been really a country which has been disturbed morally. You have people who don't know their sex. You have people who don't think they're male when they're male. You have people who think that they are female when they're male. Or you have people who think that they're male when they're female. I mean, America has gone bananas. USA has gone bananas. There is no morality anyway. There is no respect of human. You see a man who is actually dressing like a woman, and the man doesn't want to be called man. He wants to be called mom. I mean, where are we in this world where a man or a woman want to be called the opposite of what they are? And when you call him mom, or you call her mom, or you call him man, he's really upset and he start attacking. I've seen these videos where people just go crazy, they start attacking people because people address them in the way that they are. And that's what I don't think is right. America has to be brought back again. You have all these woke ideas which have taken viral society. I think if we had another 4 years of Kamala Harris, or another 4 years of Joe Biden, well, I don't think we'll have America anymore. That's my honest opinion. I don't think we'll have America anymore, because the America that we used to know is no longer the America that we see. The America that we see is the America that is actually leading people astray, leading people into things that are really not moral, things that are morally madness. When you see these things, you say, hey, what is happening to this nation? What is happening to this once great nation, once known great nation? A nation which used to fear God, a nation which used to actually walk with God, a nation which was founded by the founding principles of the Bible. We are a nation under one God. That's the nation that people used to know. The America, the great United States. But now you can see, when you look at America, it's really madness. You have people who, first of all, in their head, they don't know where they stand. They don't know where to hold. It is just a dead America. And that's what really, really hurts me, to see America that way. It hurts me. That's a great nation of great Christian believers, people of the founding fathers were Christian, the founding pilgrims. What happened? They were running from actually the wars in Europe, persecution in Europe, because they were persecuted because of their religion. They were persecuted because of what they believed. And they left England. They land of angels, as they call it, and they went to America, where they really, God helped them to conquer the Indians, and they were just pushing out the Indians, and they had great victories, and they united these small colonies, and they put them together, and you have what you have today, the United States of America. But America has just gone outside of its senses. Outside of its senses. It has no sense anymore. America is a headless country. It was a headless country, putting Joe Biden, who doesn't even remember where he was, just going. That was America. It was out of business for a long time. Then the world was just going viral. And then you have Putin coming in and just trying to disturb the order, because there was no head. When Putin came in, he saw that situation and he saw his chances. He just started, because there was no head. Who was actually leading the world? America was not there. There is no head, and no one was caring about actually leading the world to a better place. So, because there was no head, so America took over. Putin took over. You cannot rule with vacuum. In power, in the game of power, vacuum does not exist. Once you leave a vacuum, somebody else takes in. Once you leave a vacuum, somebody else is going to dominate that place. That's how it works in economy, in the world. You cannot afford to have that vacuum. Oh, please, guys, make sure that you like and make sure that you share. Make sure that you subscribe if this is your first time. So you cannot allow to have that vacuum. That vacuum in economy is not allowed. When you see something which is vacuum, it means somebody else is going to take its place. Somebody else is going to occupy it. You do not leave your world. You do not leave the things that you have into vacuum. And that's what America has done. He left the world, vacuum, because Joe Biden was not existent. He was non-existent. He couldn't think of himself. He couldn't know where he was. Everything he was doing was just, out of the random, out of, there was no thinking. And America, because it was in that situation, in that condition, what happens? Then Putin comes in, then Iran comes in, then North Korea comes in, because these people, they cannot handle, nature cannot handle vacuum. There is nothing, nature cannot handle vacuum. When a power falls, there is always a power which takes over. When the Roman kingdom fell, there was another kingdom which came in. When the Greek kingdom fell, the Roman kingdom came in. When Babylon fell, there was another power which came in. Every kingdom, the world cannot live without kingdoms. The world cannot live without somebody leading them. And if somebody really neglect that place, somebody else is going to take it. And that's what's happening today. You have Putin, you have Xi Jinping, you have people from across the world, and that's what's happening. So once you leave that place, somebody else is going to take it. And that's what the economy is all about. Since America left its place, China has become the world's greatest economy. It has become the world's greatest technological country. Russia has become the most powerful country when it comes to nuclear power. You have actually all these countries which are taking the lead, and now America wants to take the lead in AI. That is a very good if they can do that. But we know the technology, the best AI technology is actually in China. You have TikTok apps which actually run much more faster, and you use another type of algorithm than what's actually these other platforms do not have. Facebook does not have that, and Facebook wants to buy TikTok by then, but they refuse. They had a vision. So once you have a vision, you have to calculate the future. It's not about now, it's all about the future. TikTok is worthless, but when they have given it permission to exist, you know how much it costs? $1 trillion. $1 trillion. America wants to take 50%. That's Donald Trump. It's business. You have to run your country. You have to run your family like a business. It is a business, and that business you have to be able to actually overcome in each and every situation. And that's what America has done. Really, now it's kind of coming back with Donald Trump. It's trying to take the lead in this situation. It's trying to lead the nations in this situation, but I don't know how these nations are going to respond. That's the question. Are the nations going to respond? Are they going to respond positively? That remains to see, because and that remains to see. So this woman has really been trying to see to what she has been trying is actually to insult the American president. Bud's remarks came the day after Trump signed a raft of executive actions on his first day of office, including orders cracking down on immigration and rolling back the protecting the transgender Americans. You see, you have transgender. What is that? People who do not know if they're male or female, are they normal? Hey, if you are there, please. I don't think there is normality with that. Some of his executive orders like this, if a throwback bright birthright citizenship, are already facing legal challenges. Brew delivered her sermon at the National Prayer Service that newly inaugurated president attends as part of long-standing tradition. He was accompanied by his family and Vice President J.D. Vance. It's unusual for a president to be confronted so directly in such a setting. Some praise Brood for her courage to publicly address Trump on his policies, while some of the president's MAGA allies criticize her. Republicans Mike RGA, for example, inexplicably called for Brood, an American citizen, to be added to the deportation list. So you see, I mean, when you have people like this who actually, you don't know your gender. You don't know if you're a male or you're a female. What a confusion we have in this society. We have people who don't know if they're male, if they're female. So what are you? Are you a dog? Are you a cat? There was this man who was saying, okay, I'm no longer 50 years old. I am 6 years old. Consider me as a 6 years old. I'm saying this world has gone really mad. People have gone mad. People have gone bananas. You need to bring some common sense in this world. You need to bring some common sense in the United States. You need to bring people on their place, to tell them this is legal, you can do this, and this you cannot do. And to do that, you need a mighty, a strong president like Donald Trump, who can make rules and say, hey, this, yes, this, no. Everybody was just doing things the way they wanted. Male could be female, female could be male. And then you have this kind of boxing, and then male are knocking out females in the boxing ground. I don't think that is really something which we should continue with. I think this is the time to actually turn around and to bring those normal values which used to exist in the United States of America. And that's what brought out prosperity in this country. Without that prosperity, hey, believe me, that America is not going to rise again. So that's what I think. It is a sad situation that you have a priest confronting the world's most powerful country and really stating things that she shouldn't be stating, entering into the politics of what she shouldn't be there. And, as a church, there is some subject that you can confront, but not and what she was defending is not even biblical. That's what really, it's outstanding. You're defending something which is not even biblical. We're in a church. The first thing that should be done is actually defending what is scriptural. Now, you don't have any scriptures on anything. You don't have scriptures on that thing. So how are you going to go and actually defend something unscriptural? If it's not scriptural, then you should not do it. You should not defend it. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? If it's not scriptural, you should not do it. The only thing you can defend, the only thing you can allow yourself to say when it comes to actually, to a sermon must be, it's a must, scriptural. A sermon must be scriptural. If it's not scriptural, it's not a sermon. It is just anything but a sermon. And that's what this woman was actually trying to do. It's not to bring a sermon. a scripture sermon. It was actually a political attack. And that's what I saw. Yeah, that's what I saw actually was happening. It was a political attack. It was a hinge which was actually thrown against Trump, and he could not handle it. You saw his comments, when he came out. They asked him, the journalists asked him, what do you think about the sermon? Was it good? He said, what do you think? Because it was just not a sermon. That was just an attack. That was just something which was, was not something which no man could appreciate, to be nailed out like that. So I don't know what you think, guys. Make sure that we actually, we come up with comments and what we think, So that's what I think. I think that was really the most horrible thing you could ever undertake as 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 a so-called priest. If you cannot take something scriptural, then you shouldn't do it. So that's just my take on it. So it was not something that I think she had better to do than to actually take this kind of subject which she could not actually handle in, and she didn't know how to actually produce. Hello guys, please make sure that you like and you subscribe. So I think she should have done better as well. She should have done better. There's a way to do better, and that is improving. When you're going to church, the first thing as I'm going to church is actually to look after somebody who can lead me spiritually and scripturally, and not somebody who will just be saying what they really don't know what they're saying or what they're talking about. So I don't think that's the correct way about things. I think there is correct way to walk about things. There is a correct way to address things, and that should be said. So now that was my take on it. So please guys, make sure that you actually like. Make sure that you like and you subscribe, So we're talking about still that woman, who actually was talking on the inauguration day on Trump's issues. So please make sure that you comment as well. Make sure that you comment. Want to see your comments as well on this topic. Yeah, I want to see your comments. I want to have a conversation with you. I don't want to talk just to myself. I want to have a conversation with you guys, a running conversation. Want to have a conversation. Hey guys, make sure that you comment. Want to have a conversation with you, about this issue about this priest. What do you think? What do you think should have been done? Was Donald Trump to actually stay there and just listen to this woman? Was he right? Or should he have left? Should he have left? Or should he just have stayed there? So tell me, what do you think Donald Trump should have done? Should he have left or should he have stayed there? Did he do the right thing by staying or should he have left? What do you think? Please tell me in the comments. I want to listen to you, to your point of view on this issue. What do you think? Should have Donald Trump left or should he have stayed, and listen to that sermon of Brood? Brood held a sermon and Donald Trump was actually there, and which he regretted because he heard everything that she was saying, and she was not easy on him. So my question to you guys and to us all, should he have left or should he have just stayed as he did? And if he stays as he did, what would you have done? What would you have liked him to do? So let's have a conversation around that. So enter in and let us have a conversation. Let's talk about these things, guys. Let's talk about these things, guys. Should have Donald Trump left? Or was it the best thing that he stayed and listened to this conversation? Should he have left? What do you think, guys? Should he have left or should he have stayed? As he did, what was the best thing to do? What was the best thing to do? Should he have left or should he have stayed? What do you think was the best option? What do you think was the best option? Did Donald Trump do the best thing just to stay and to listen to this woman Brood preaching, or should he have left? And I want to hear your point of views in the comments. I want to hear your point of views in the comments. Should have Donald Trump left the church or should he have stayed? And why then did he regret by staying there? So please, want to know your point of views, comment them, let us know your stand on this issue. And if this is your first time, please make sure that you subscribe, you like, and you share. We're here to bring you the best content as we can. So we are really pleading with you to actually subscribe with us and to follow us and to share this video. Yeah, should have Donald Trump left? Should he have left? Should he have left? And since he stayed, what did you expect it to be like? Did you expect it to be nice and cozy? Did you expect this Mrs. Brood to actually preach this kind of sermon that she did preach, which was not a sermon but a political attack? What would you have done if it was you? What would you have done? Would you really have, just stay there and listen, or would you have, decided otherwise? And if you have decided otherwise, what would be in that decision? Would you have decided to 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 just sit there and to and listen, or would you have just left? What I want to have this conversation with you guys. I want to talk to you. I want to see what you think about what happened, at the inauguration, sermon that was held, and that was actually, held by Mrs. Bruce, which is in the picture, and the reaction of Donald Trump already. Should he have left, or should he have stayed? Those are kind of questions that I would like us to actually have a conversation on, to talk about it. What would you have advised him to do? Did that woman act badly, or did she act, the best way that she could? Was she protecting those people, or was she actually trying to bash Donald Trump, attack Donald Trump? So I want to hear a point of views, and where you're coming from. That will kind of, help us to know that we have different kind of views, and people are really regarding things differently. That is okay. I'm not afraid of contradiction, but I'm really here so that we can have a good discussion when it comes to that. What would have been the reaction, your reaction, if you were Donald Trump? Would you have left? Would you have stayed there as he stayed? Or would you have done otherwise? So my question is still the same, and I'm expecting you guys to have a conversation with me. Expecting you guys to have a conversation with me. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk. Let's discuss this. Let's discuss this and let's talk together. Let's analyze questions together, and let's think together. So let's think together. I think this is one of the best time we can actually, have a discussion together. I think we're going to have a discussion together, talk about things together. And this is the time, we can actually have those kind of things together, talk together, share. And so guys, let's have a discussion together. What would have Donald Trump done? What would you have done? If you were Donald Trump, what would you have done? Would you have left that place, when the bishop was actually talking about it? Or would you have just sat there and wait as he did and then regret later on? What would you have done? That's what I want to know, your point of view. I want to know your point of view. That's what I want to know. I want to know your point of view, on this issue. Guys, make sure that you like and you subscribe. So what would you have done if you were in the place of Donald Trump? Would you have liked? What would you have done? So that's why we come actually here. We want to discuss. I want to hear a point of view. I've spoken a lot, so I want to hear a point of view. What would you have done if you're Donald Trump? Would you have walked away while that woman was talking, while that brute was talking, or would you have waited and reacted the same way that he reacted? He regretted. What would you have done? So let's have the conversation in the comments section. As of now, I'm going to end the live and see you on the next one.